Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together on a full face makeup tutorial. My name is Wendy, and I have been loving music and wearing been loving makeup and wearing makeup since, well, before my mom would let me. I just love that I get to wake up every morning and finger paint. So today, our easy makeup tutorial is going to be Autumn Elegance. It is going to be a fall blue and copper look with the Juvia's Place palette, and we are going to be using the Nubian 2 palette today. So grab your palette, grab your brushes, grab some lashes, and head on back. Let's get started. All right. Well, our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And this week, we are going to be in the book of Psalms again. So our verse for this week is going to be Psalm 85:12. That is, oh yes. God, your goodness and beauty. God gives goodness and beauty, and the land responds with beauty and blessing. Those words are a little bit tiny for my eyes this morning. I don't know if I needed more coffee or what's going on, but there we go. All right. So let me get that scrolling across the bottom of our screen there. There you go. So we can use that as a timer as we're going throughout our beauty routine this morning. Now, just a reminder that all of the products that we're going to be using during the podcast this morning are going to be on the website. So you can use that QR code right there. You can go to the link at the bottom. It'll also be in the show notes as well, just to make sure that you're getting the exact same thing that we're using if that's what it was that you liked. All right, so we're going to get that going there. We're going to get our chat going. I can hear some of you dinging in already. Nice to have you here with us this morning. All right, so let's just jump in. We're going to start with our primer. So this is the POREfessional. This is the matte primer. So we're just going to use just a little bit of that, because a little bit of that is going to go a long way. We're going to work that between our middle fingers here and put that wherever you got fine lines, wrinkles, unevenness of skin tone. Maybe you got a little troubled area down the center like me. You got some combo skin going on. This is going to prep your skin and get it ready for your concealer and your foundation. It will just even everything out and then help control that oil throughout the day. So great. All right, so now that we have got our skin prepped and ready to go, and of course we started with a clean face. I guess maybe I should have said that. All right, so we're going to go with the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is the shade Light Nude. A little bit of this goes a long way. So we're just going to use a little ribbon of that. And wherever you have darkness, redness, maybe you've got some discoloration from acne scarring, you're like me maybe, and you've just got some darkness that's just like hereditary around your eyes, we're just going to get that there. Got some redness going on here. And for right now, we're just going to kind of put it in the big places. It blends better when you let it warm up to your body temperature. So we're just going to leave that there for just a second. And this week, I'm kind of shifting gears. I am going back to a beauty blender. And this is the Real Techniques. This is the Miracle Blend Sponge. So for the concealer, we're going to use the pointy end there. And we're just going to blend that out. Yes, good morning to you as well. Actually, is it morning or is it nighttime where you are? Okay, we're just going to blend that out. Let that set nice and pretty. We've given our face now an even color to put that foundation on and to let it do its job more effectively. And I am going to be using the Lancome. This is the Tint Idole. I am the shade 225 Neutral. This is the reformulated version that they did, so it does have that SPF in there, so we don't need to add that on. I always, shake this. I don't even know if you need to do that with this foundation, but it just seems the thing to do. Okay, so we're going to take the wide end of our Beauty Blender, and we're just going to give it a pump. And then we're going to dab that. And then blend it. This is a medium full coverage foundation. I like how it blends out. It does really nice. It sits pretty on the skin. It also does great with combo skin. I mean, any skin type can use it, but it just does really good with combo skin. We're just going to blend that right up to that concealer. And we're going to go just a little bit over the lip line there. And blending it down along the neck. And now we're just going to use a little bit of a, looks like it's cat to work, bring your cat to work day. Okay, we're just going to give a little bit of a partial pump there. And that is going to be for our forehead. And again, just going to big picture, put it everywhere and then blend it out. Make sure you get all the way up to that hairline with that. And working it around into those eyebrows. Yes, that is true. Some people do their eyebrows before, some people do their brows after. There's not necessarily a wrong way or a right way. It's just whatever works best for you. I've seen quite a few people who sort of switch back and forth between the two methods. So just do whatever is working for you and whatever, project you got going on your face that day. Okay, we're going to set that with the Laura Mercier. This is the translucent loose setting powder, the Ultra Blur. And this is just the original translucent. There are 3 variations of this, so use the one that is going to work best for your skin tone. And then I am using the Beauty Blender Puff. We're just going to use the tip of that, get that on there, and we're going to work around the eye first. Just pressing that into that foundation. Okay, getting it right into that corner, right up underneath that eye. And now we're going to switch to the wide end of that puff. So you're just getting it in there, setting it in there. Then we're going to work down the center of the face first. No, doesn't really matter like what order you do it in. Just make sure that you cover every part of your face. There we go. So we're just pressing that in. And yes, you absolutely could use a brush if you want to. Things I don't like about the brush, though, is that it kind of fluffs and goes everywhere, and then you end up with expensive dust. So I prefer the puff because it seems like you waste less. And I hate the dust. We're just going to press that in. All right, so now you have even playing field on that face. Your foundation is on, it is set. So let's begin with the contouring. So we're gonna start out with, this is a dual-ended brush. I'm gonna use this end for the bronzer, this end for the highlighter. And what bronzer am I gonna use, you ask? Well, that is gonna be the Hoola bronzer this week. And I just love, somewhere I have another one I need to get out. But Hoola bronzer, nice brown color, comes in 4 different variations, I think. So just make sure you find the one that works for you. And we're going to start out with the wide part of the brush. We're going to get it on one side, That side that you just put it on is going to go up. We're going to go from the ear to about the middle of the eye, heading towards that nose there. We're going to stay above the hollow of the cheek and then run it right alongside that temple there. It's kind of a back and forth, sort of a circular motion down here. And same thing on the other side. And you can play with that a little bit until you get the intensity that you would like. Obviously, the more times that you go over it, the darker that it's going to be. And then we're going to keep a neutral. We're going to, well, on that same flat side, we're going to get it right up here on that hairline. Just a little bit, kind of blend it in. Just give a little dimension to your face there. Now we're going to switch to the skinny side. And along the jawline, like under the jawline, from the ear to about the corner of your mouth, keep a neutral face. And we're just going to run under that jawline. And that is going to help accentuate that jawline. Same with the small side. We're going to run from the up near the eye there, all the way to the tip of the nose. We're going to chisel out our nose. And then right up under that tip there. Let's make our nose a little smaller. Now, if you got a super skinny nose, you can kind of avoid that part. And God bless you, and stop bragging. Okay, I'm using the Juvia's Place Tribe Highlighter. This is the Volume 3. Just a really nice kind of champagne color. We're going to use the fluffy end of the brush there. Swirl it around. We're going to stay on the top of the cheek and then right beside the eye socket closest to the eye there. This is just going to give us some highs to contrast the lows that we did. And then down the center of the face. Nice. And that does have a little bit of shine, but not too much. So it gives you just a nice balance between the matte and then kind of a, it's not really a shimmer, but just gives you a little diversity in your texture. Okay, so for the blush, we're going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Volume 4. For today, we're going to be in this right here. We've got a lot of color happening on our eye today, so we're going to kind of bring it down a little bit on the cheek and not on the lip. Okay, so back to cheeks. So between the bronzer and the highlighter, we're going to put that blush right there. Remember, these are pretty pigmented, so less is more to start out with this, and you can build. If you start out with too much, you can add more, but once you start out with too much, you can't like untake it off unless you're like taking everything off, and that's a giant pain. And then we're going to use a little bit. We're going to get it on that forehead, tip of the nose, and just the chin there. All right, so that is our contouring. You can see we've got a little more dimension and depth in our face, and we've chiseled it out and carved it and formed it the way that we want it to be. So now we are going to say our verse. So we've got that scrolling across the bottom of our screen. Let's see if I can read that a little bit better than I was reading the other one. Okay. Oh, yes. God gives goodness and beauty. Our land responds with bounty and blessings. Psalms 85:12. Oh, that was much easier. Okay, so now to the lips. So we're going to be using two things on our lips today. The first is going to be the Suede Matte Lip Liner in Jet Set. This is from NYX Professional Makeup. And just want to make sure that you've got a pretty good tip on that. This is a brand new pencil. And so we are going to outline our lips. We are going to ride just to the outside of that lip line. And then we're going to come in and fill in just a little bit. Okay, so starting that Cupid's bow. Ooh, new pencil. Little scratchy. Here, let me do it on the back of my hand for a second. There we go. I don't know. They must have some kind of a coating on there. Here we go. Try it again. There we go. And then we're going to round out from here all the way to the corner. Same thing on the other side. All right. And now we're going to start out in the center on the bottom and then round that out to the corners. There you go. Now we're going to take that pencil and just a little bit to the inside of that line that you just did, use a little bit lighter pressure, and we're just going to line that a little bit again. And you can see that's a little more jaggedy strokey rather than just pointed. This just helps your lipstick to wear a little bit longer, helps that color to just set nicely. Like I said, it extends your wearability so much. So now we're just gonna make sure that we've got our lip even on both sides and we like the shape of what we've got. This today would also be super pretty with a nice copper lipstick. It's not a color I typically wear, so I didn't have a shade like that, but it'd be pretty with that too. So we are going to be using, this is the KVD, what is this one called? KVD Everlasting Hyper Light Liquid Lipstick, and this is Scorpirus, like Scorpio Iris. Anyways, it's just a nice blue color. So whether you've got a lipstick or you're using this one in particular, I like the lipstick because this one just wears really nice. Okay, and we're just going to fill that in. And because this is a long wearing lipstick, you're going to want to make sure that you leave your lips kind of separated for a minute so it can kind of dry down, or else it'll transfer out and then you'll end up with bald spots. Well, maybe not bald. That's a little strong, but it does better if you leave your lips separated while it dries. And again, just take a step back, make sure everything is even, you like the shape, your Cupid's bow looks good, and then you'll be ready to go. So you're going to see me look a little weird for a second there because I'm going to be keeping my lips separated while it dries. Okay, so now we're going to go to our eyes. So super excited to be playing with this palette. This is not a new palette, it's just new to me. So this is the Juvia's Place. This is a Nubian 2, and we're going to be playing with 3 colors. I know, I'm going to try to stick with 3 colors today. So we're going to be right here in the Zuri, then we're going to use some Cleopatra, and then we're going to use some Nefertiti. So we got these 3 right in a row. This you could do, Nefertiti is going to be a shade right in the middle, and you could exchange that out with Ya, with Sheba, with Egypt, any of those lighter colors, and I think it would be absolutely spectacular. And who knows, it might show up on a later episode. So we are going to first start out by getting our eyelids primed so that our color is as vibrant as possible. So I am using the Juvia's Place. This is Eye Prep Eye Prime. I am the shade 1. So find, I think there's like 4 or 5 different ones. So find the one that suits your skin tone the best. We want it to be as close to your skin tone. Well, maybe a little bit lighter, but pretty close to your skin tone. So we're just going to use a little bit of that. We're just going to get that right on our, Not under the eye. We'll fix that later. So we're just going to blend that from the inside corner, outside corner, bottom to the top. And that's going to give us a little bit lighter of a color so that our eyeshadows will have something to adhere to and show up better, more vibrant. So I'm going to need a little tiny bit more on the inside here. Some people use concealer for this. You can do that. One thing I like about this Eye Pepper Eye Prime is that it's got a little bit of tack to it. So it really does grip and hold those shadows. Now, I need to get that off there. There we go. It happens. Okay, so now we're going to grab a fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M433, and we're going to use that in the color Zuri right here. So we're just going to swirl the tip of that around, and that's going to go up here on that brow bone. Now, depending on your skin tone, I'm fair, so this one goes really nice with me. But if you've got a little darker skin tone, you may find that Shiba works well for you. If you've got a little redness, you may find the Morocco. So whatever up here is going to be similar to your skin tone, that's the color that you're going to want up here. All right. So that is one. I know it's going to be, I know you're not going to believe this. We're only going to use 3 brushes today. So, okay, 4 if you're going to count the one under the eye. Okay, so this one is the Morphe M456. We're going to be using this one. We're going to go into Cleopatra. And actually, I take that back. I'm going to switch that to the M506. It's a little bit smaller. I think it might be a little bit better. The one thing you want to avoid is not overloading your brush and ending up with a lot of fallout. So we're going to go with Cleopatra right here. Just want it on the tip. So we're just going to swirl that tip there. And we're going to come in on the inside. And we're just going to go maybe 1/3 of the way. We want to leave that center bare. And we're going to bring that color up to above where the eye socket bone is. I think I usually call it a socket bone. There we go. You guys are cracking me up. And then we're going to go to the outside corner. We're going to bring that about 1/3 of the way as well. And we're bringing that up to that eye socket as well. And it can be a little bit messy here because you're going to blend it all out here in just a minute. Want to make sure that that outside corners are nice and dark. So at this point, if you have hooded eyes like I do, well, in addition to it looking a little weird right now, but you want to make sure when you're looking forward that you can see that blue color above your eye. So you can see right now, it's like right there. So I can bring this up just a little bit. So let's come a little bit higher. And now when you look forward, you can see how you can see more of it. That's what you want. You want to be able to see that. That's going to open up that eye. Okay, now that we've got that one good, we're going to go ahead and do that same thing on the other side and going 1/3 of the way here. And then we're going to go all the way up to where we have the other side. And we want the same level of intensity with that blue. think I might have come a little farther over. And then we're going to do it on the outside. Okay, looks like I need to bring this one up a little bit more. There we go. I think that's pretty good right there. We're going to take our fluffy brush, and in the event we have any dark fallout for that, we're just going to sweep that away. Don't let that build up too much. And now we're going to use that M456 that we had out just a minute ago. And we're going to go in that Nefertiti right here. Again, tip of the brush right on that. And that's going to go right in the middle, that little runway that we set up for it. And then we're going to blend that into the blue. On both sides. And then blend that out on this side. And then we're going to take the brush that we just were using with that Cleopatra. Don't put anything else on it. Just use what it's got. And we're going to blend across here. Just using what is on the brush. Just let that blend out up into, what was that top color? Zuri. And we'll fix the edge over here when we come and do the underside. So you can just leave that there. Gonna grab that fluffy brush with that Zuri. Just gonna kind of go up on that Zuri, blend from the Zuri down. And then we're going to take that Cleopatra again. We're just going to make sure that we stay nice and dark in the inside and the outside. Okay. Wow, you can see how beautiful that is. Look at that nice fall look. We're going to take our eyeliner now. This is the Killer Liner from Too Faced, and this is in the shade, I think it's called Killer Black. Looks like I need a little bit of a point on there, so just make sure. Just give it a couple times around. Usually, I don't know, like I count. Usually like 3 times around gets it. We're going to go from the outside corner, and we're going to go about halfway with this one. And then on the under of the eye, we're going to go to the outside corner, right on that lash line. And we're going to go about 2/3. And whether you have vision problems or not, let me encourage you, get a little magnifying mirror. It just makes life so much easier. Then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. All right, making sure you come the same distance on both of them. And now we're going to grab that smudger. My favorite smudger at the moment is going to be the Real Techniques. This is a smudge brush number 087. So we're going to take that smudger, and right on the tip of that, we're going to get some of that Cleopatra. And then we're going to work that Cleopatra right here under against that liner that we just put on. Right on that liner. And then we're going to bring it out just a little and let it meet that outside corner of that shadow. And I'm also using it to kind of darken that outside corner, just making sure I get that as intense as possible. Here we go. Now we're going to dust that off just a little bit on that tissue, and we're going to get that Nefertiti. Actually, let's actually use a, let's see, do I got one? Did I grab one? Well, this will work. This is a MAC eyeliner brush, a number 263. And we're going to get that on that Nefertiti. And we're going to go right here on that other side. And then blend those together in the middle. We're going all the way to that tear duct with it. But then we're going to dust that off and get in that Zuri. And I'm going to switch to, I think this is actually an eyeliner brush. And we're just going to use that Zuri right here on the inside corner. Nice. So now we've got a little bit of highlight right there in the center. So let us finish this off with a nice clean eyeliner line on that top. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is the, what is it called? The waterproof liquid eyeliner, I think. So we're just going to go from the outside all the way to the inside. And this is just going to give us a nice clean line when we put our lashes on here in just a second. It's going to help fill, if you have any space between your lash line and the lashes, it'll kind of fill that. Just gives you a little bit of forgiveness there. And also just a clean runway line of where to put those lashes. I just like how it makes it have like a frame. Okay, we're just going to let that dry down. Okay, now, what are we missing from our eyes? We don't have any brows yet. All right, so go ahead and grab your brow product of choice. I am using the Jumbo Eye Pencil Crayon from NYX. fashion colored hair requires you to get a little creative with your eyebrow products. So we're just going to use this eyeshadow pencil. I've used eyeliners, lip liners, eyeshadow pencils, whatever, just so your lashes, just so that your brows match. So we're going to get just a little bit of point on that and get our brows colored in. Following that brow line around. You want to make sure that you're getting your brow shape done by a brow professional. So get to your nearest Ulta, seek out one of their arch experts, and make that happen. I mean, just look at the difference between the two sides, one with the brow, one without. It's amazing difference. All right, so on the other side. And we're just following that brow around. I don't know if we're about ready to go back to a skinny brow trend or whatever, but the other day I was watching a video of this girl that like literally shaved her brows off. Okay, that wasn't fun to do back in, I think it was like the 90s where they did that. And then everybody who did that hated it. So learn from them and don't do that. I'm not sure if she was just trying to be a trendsetter. Okay. And then we're going to get the brow on the other side. Take a step back, make sure the two sides are even to each other. Once you've got your brows the way you like them, you are ready to go on to our next step. So our next step is going to be our lashes. So one of my favorite parts. Now today, I am going to be stepping back to the Juvia's Place. This is the Zaria. So things I love about this lash, it is a flare. So it has thinner lashes or shorter lashes on the inside, and then longer, wider lashes on the outside. So things I like about that, I think it just gives kind of a natural appearance. My thing about the lashes is you want it to look like you have more lashes than you have, but not like you've got a caterpillar living on there. So these are perfect for that. I believe they're in the medium volume of the line. So you could go to a lesser volume or a natural volume if you want, but I just really like these. I think they're like right on the edge of the volume thing. So we're going to use our lash tool. We're going to hold that lash right there in the middle. These have already been trimmed. So I have already taken off how much I need from the outside edge. I've already grabbed the two edges and I have softened the lash. And so these have been worn before, so they are ready to go. So again, I'm going to hold that lash right there in the middle. I'm going to take that lash adhesive and we're going to line that right on that upper edge. Just making sure we cover that whole thing. And then we're going to turn it and get it on the inside edge of that band as well. We want to make sure that corner to corner, we are covered. So the great thing is that this adhesive is white when you first put it on. So it's easy to tell where you've been. And you want to make sure that you pay special attention to the outside corners here. And then we're going to take the other one and we're going to do that exact same thing. So we're holding that lash right there in the center, taking that adhesive, putting that on that top band. And then we're going to take that adhesive. We're going to switch that, flip that lash over and get it on the inside of that lash. There you go. Just like that. That is correct. You trim the lashes from the outside edge of the lash. So we're going to set these down. And in front of us, we're going to give them just a second to actually dry down. When you first put it on, you'll notice that the adhesive in this case is white and it's shiny. And so you're going to wait until it dries down just a little bit. It'll dull down just a smidge, and then it will not be quite as shiny as it was. So we're going to grab that first lash that we put the adhesive on. And actually, I'm holding it backwards. So let me do it this way. There we go. And looks like it's just about ready to go. So you can kind of speed it along a little bit if you just sort of fan it. That will help it dry down just a little bit faster. So if you put your lash on and it's like really cold and it feels wet, it probably wasn't quite ready for you to put it on just yet. But it does a little bit better. So if that happens, just kind of pull it out a little bit and then put it back. It works kind of like super glue. You know how when you do super glue, you take the two wet ends, you put them together, you separate them, then you put it back? Kind of the same thing. So we're just going to take that lash and we're going to set it right there in the middle, right on that eyeliner line that we did. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't put mascara on. So we're going to go ahead and do the lashes and then we will do our mascara. So we're just getting all kind of fun stuff here. All right. We're going to get that on the outside edge. Let's go back to the inside edge. So you can see kind of what I'm talking about when I say that my lashes are white. If you look, you can see my lashes on the underside of that because they are so pale. So we'll fix that here in just a minute with some mascara, but let's just keep going on because we already have that adhesive on our lashes. It happens sometimes. All right, so grabbing the center of that lash on the other side, we're going to put it right down there in the middle. Gonna put it on that eyeliner line. And it looks like that lash. There we go. And then we're gonna set the inside down. And as I was up closer, I see I got a little fallout, so let's go ahead and brush that away. All right, so we've got our lashes on. We're just gonna give a last little push, make sure these are nice and stuck tight. There we go. And we are gonna grab our mirror and add our mascara now. A little bit out of order, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to the same place. It's kind of like, what do you eat first, the vegetables or the meat? Okay, so we're going to grab that. This is the Mercier Big. And because I already have the lashes on, I'm not going to curl them today. So we're just going to use that Mercier Big. And we're just getting a little bit of color on the lashes so they blend in with those false lashes. So you don't got to get too fancy with it. We're just trying to get everything the same color. And then same thing on the other side. Okay. Once you feel like you have got everything colored well, we're going to switch to our bottom lashes now. So the bottom lashes, you're going to do the same as you were before because those don't have any false lashes on them. So we're just going to give nice, even coverage on those bottom lashes. Making sure we're going from root to tip on those. And then same thing on the other side. Root to tip. Making sure we're sweeping under those tips so that they're nice and covered evenly. Use that tip of that mascara wand if you need to get in that specific eyelash that's being persnickety. And also making sure we pay special attention to the outside edges. All right. So we were working with a little bit of a dark color today. So I'm going to come back in. Well, that in addition to the fact that I got the, whatever that was, the primer over there. I'm going to go back in with the pointy tip and just a little bit of powder on that tip. And just come in under here. We just want to make sure that we've cleaned that up good. And then after you've done that, we're going to come back in with our highlighter, just a smidge, and just highlight right there. All right, so now we are just about finished. So what are we going to do to finish out this look? We are going to set it so it stays fresh looking all day long. I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the Ready, Set, Sealed. Love the smell of this. Okay, so go ahead and give that a shake, and then we're going to spray that. Just fan that down. Nice. Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It has been a delight to be with you. I look forward to chatting you throughout this week on social media or on my website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. So let's go ahead and look at our verses that we had for last week. So last week we were working through Genesis. We did that rainbow look, and so our verse from last week was I'm putting my rainbow in the earth, a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Genesis 9:13. Man, I always struggle with the address. And then again, this week our verse is going to be, oh yes, God gives goodness and beauty. And the land responds with bounty and blessing. Psalms 85:12. So that's what we're going to be working on. And then all of our verses again. Actually coming up, we have for season 3, because we're in season 2 right now. In season 3, we're going to be working through Color Me James. And Color Me James is going to be a study and memorization through the book of James. So I can't wait to get that, to share that QR code with you here in the near future. So be looking out for that. So let me go ahead and get this up here. All right. So like I said, I can't wait to see you throughout the week. Let me send you out with a blessing. You know how much I love scripture and song. So if you know this song, just sing it with me. Okay. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for all of the ladies that have hung out with me here this morning, that are watching this later online. Father, I just pray a blessing on them this week as we go throughout the week and we work on our memory verse, Father, that you would help us to hide that word in our heart, that we would treasure that we would think of it often, that we would try to incorporate that into our daily lives, Father. I just pray that that would be ready and accessible for us when we need it, and that it would be ready for us to share with others so that we can edify and encourage them. Father, iron sharpens iron. Just send them out this week with a blessing. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. Well, it has been a wonderful time with you. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Mwah! Love you.